So I'm going to be looking at two expert opinions. The first person
About what probably should be one of the most important renewable energy sources that we use to heat our homes and schools and all all the buildings in our community, and it really isn't on the radar screens yet. Take a look at this quote. This is from a world-recognized expert in biomass energy. He's saying the hay farmers in North America will one day outproduce the oil sands. And he's saying, in addition, that they can produce the energy equivalent of 82 million barrels of oil a day. And he backs that up with his group of scientists, the agricultural economists that he works with, and he looked at all the agricultural land that was available, and they determined reasonably, without interrupting the food chain for animals or for humans, that we could use 90 million hectares to specifically grow hay for a heat crop. And if we did that, we'd produce enough material to heat 69 million homes. Yes, this is a cheap, clean, and easy source of heat for us.
was Jim Trussler. So, Jim Trussler, the origin is that the document type is a live speech video at the TED conference. The intended audience is the Canadian and USA farm communities. He wants to create green technology which is easy to use, but which is also economical. He talks about how we can create energy from hay. The value is it's very significant because it is talking about the green revolution of tomorrow. The green revolution is not over, and gives a great insight as to how the green revolution will expand and can be used in the future. However, there's also limitations. It's still very experimental and requires more research. The second expert is Richard Manning. Here's a small clip.
It was the first shift in the fundamental strategy of agriculture that had occurred in 10,000 years. Agriculture, because it's catastrophic, must constantly have new land. And must constantly have new land because it also creates excess population, and those people need a place to go. Take a look at about 1940 and an American farmer. That farmer was using roughly a calorie of fossil fuel to make a calorie of food. Today, that same farmer uses something like 10 calories of fossil fuel to make a calorie of food. That means that petrochemicals, fossil fuel, have become embedded in our food supply. We put off the catastrophe that occurred a generation ago with fossil fuels. In other words, we didn't colonize new farmlands, we colonized new oil fields and new watersheds to make irrigation water. If we run out of fossil fuel, that strategy will collapse in a heartbeat. And we will be at exactly the position we were a generation ago when we had 3 billion people we couldn't feed, only now we have 6 billion people, exactly double the number.
Richard Manning is an award-winning environmental author and journalist. The document type is an interview. So, what Richard is doing is he's telling us why and how the Green Revolution happened. He does this to give a warning of what could happen in the future of the Green Revolution. His intended audience was the people who want to know more about the Green Revolution, and those are people who care what could happen tomorrow. It has great value because he is an expert, and he creates links between the past of the Green Revolution and the future of the Green Revolution. However, there's also limitations. The interview is a bit old. The world has obviously changed, and the world's starting to use more renewable energy sources. There's been many conferences, and things are starting to progress. However, what he says still matters. Thank you.